Hey friends, welcome to Totally Drawesome, the show that teaches you how to draw the coolest stuff in the world. Today, we're gonna learn how to draw the world's cutest unicorn. Oh yeah.
Welcome to the super cool, mega fun, totally drawesome, super cool, mega fun, totally drawesome, super cool, mega fun, totally drawesome art show.
Hello again, my name is Felix. I'm just a regular guy who eats a lot of pizza and loves to draw. My special guest today is a stubborn, high-maintenance blue rat named Rosko. Say hi, Rosko. He doesn't say much. So here's how this is gonna work. I'm gonna teach you how to draw step by step, and you're gonna do your absolute best to follow along. Rosko's gonna draw along with us as well, but between you and me, he's not a very good listener, and I'm pretty sure his drawing is gonna turn out a little different. To get started, make sure you have a piece of paper and something to draw with, and whatever you do, don't push the red button. To the overhead cam. Just remember to do your best while you follow along, and if you need to, you can always pause the video or go back. I'm gonna be using a black marker to do my drawing, but you can use whatever you like. A pencil, a crayon, your favorite pen. Doesn't really matter as long as you can see what you're drawing on the page. We're gonna start off with a circle in about the middle of the page. Do your best to make the circle as even as you can. If it's not perfect, it's not a huge deal. All right, right inside that circle, we're gonna draw another circle. You wanna leave that white sort of border inside so you can tell that there's a circle inside of a circle. And we're gonna draw one more circle, but this one's gonna be a little bit smaller and it's gonna be close to the top, just like so. That's gonna be the shine of the unicorn's eye. Now inside the second circle, we're just gonna fill it in. Again, I'm using a black marker, but if you're using a different color, then obviously the inside of your eye will be whatever color you're using. All right, so the next thing we want to do is imagine that there's a dot in the center of this little white circle. And I want you to, without touching the marker to the page, I want you to move up about this far, and we're going to draw a little dot, boop, just like so. And then from the center of that white circle, again, don't touch the marker to the page. You're gonna imagine there's a dot there, and you're gonna draw an imaginary line out to about here. Boop. So you should have two dots on the page and an eye with a shine right in the middle. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a little swoop shape. We're gonna go up and then down and connect those lines. So it goes up like this, and then down like this, and it connects. Sort of like a backwards S. And then right about here, we're going to draw a little curve shape that follows the curve of the hair, just like so. And then we're gonna draw two straight lines that connect these 2 points. One like this, and one like this. Next thing we're gonna do is hover over this dot, and we're going to draw an imaginary line, kind of about this far away, right there. So if you notice, that dot is not perfectly horizontal from that dot, it's kind of angled down. In between those two dots, we're gonna move up and draw a dot right about here. The 3 dots form a triangle. So we're gonna connect this dot to this dot, but instead of a straight line, I like to curve this line just a little bit. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And inside this little arc-shaped triangle, we're going to draw an actual triangle, like so. All right, now we're going to connect the point here to this part of the ear. If you notice, I'm not drawing from this point, I'm moving up just a little bit. So if you need to, you can draw a little dot just so you know. So what the shape is gonna look like, it's gonna be a big sort of swoop from here to here. But remember, the horn is in the way. We don't wanna draw in front of it. So what we're gonna do is draw a swoop like this and start to come down. And then as it comes down here, it's gonna curve up just a little bit. Your shape should look a little something like that. All right, we're gonna draw another dot. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna hover over the bottom of the eye. We're gonna move down about this far, and we're gonna move all the way out to about here. So we should have this dot that just lives all the way over here by itself. So from the corner of this ear, right here, we're gonna draw a big swoop that connects these 2 dots. Not a straight line, just a nice big swoop. It'll look something like this. Start here, and we swoop, just like that. Now, the same way that we started kind of up on the ear here, we're gonna do the same thing from this side. If you need to draw a dot, just like that. We're gonna connect this dot to this dot, but not with a straight line. We're gonna do that wave shape again. We're gonna go up, and then we're gonna come back down and connect. Now right in between these two lines, say we have a swoop here and a swoop here, and same thing on this side, we're gonna draw a little swoop shape that goes kind of in between those two shapes. So the first one's here, second one's gonna start here, it's gonna start to swoop, and remember the horn's in the way, so we wanna stop, and then it's going to continue on behind it. So that way it looks like the hair is behind the horn. Now we need to draw the unicorn's nose. So if you look and see where these two lines meet, it forms kind of the top of a triangle. I want you to draw an imaginary line that moves down, and you're gonna draw a dot right here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a very small sort of C shape. We don't want it to be a big curved C shape. It just needs to be very, very subtle. So we're gonna go like this and draw just like that. Now from the bottom of the eye, draw an imaginary line down to about this far, and then come over to the right to about here. And we're gonna draw a dot. Now what we're gonna do is with a big swoop shape is we're gonna connect the end of this line to this dot, just like this. Swoop it around. And then the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna draw right about here on the hair. We're gonna connect these two lines with a very soft swoop shape, just like this. And just like that, we've got a unicorn face. So if you go to about this section of the cheek, we're gonna draw a U shape, a nice wide U shape, just like this, and then a little line so his tongue's sticking out. All right, so if you've made it this far, that means you've got the face of the unicorn. The last thing we need to do is draw the body. So we're gonna come down to about this section of the hair and draw a little dot, and we're gonna draw a nice big C shape. Not a wide C shape, just a nice tall C. And then right about here from the nose, we're gonna draw a dot. We're gonna draw another C. Now I want you to imagine there's a line right here, and we're gonna draw this shape the same height so it ends right about there. Now right here at the end of this line, we're gonna draw this shape. It's gonna come out and then swoop down and then come back around and stop just like that. Then we're gonna come over to about here and we're gonna draw that exact same shape just like that. Now what you wanna do is, this line's gonna be a little bit higher. You're gonna pull this line down just a little bit and then connect this to the foot. And then same thing here, we're gonna pull this line out and connect it to the back of that foot. Out here by the nose, we're gonna draw this shape for one of the arms, and then move over to about here, and we're gonna draw the other arm. So he's got these stubby little arms and these stubby little feet, kind of this bigger body. I think it's hilarious. The last thing we need to do is draw the tail. So we're gonna go to about the halfway point of the back, and then move down just a little bit and come out with an imaginary line to about here and draw a dot. And then from that same point that we just came out, and let's go ahead and put a dot there. On the bottom part of the tail, we're gonna draw a big swoop, just like this. And on the top, we're gonna do that wave shape. We're gonna come up and then come down and connect like so. And then we're gonna draw the shape in the middle, the same way we did with the hair, just like that. And if you followed along with me, you should have a fully formed, super cute unicorn. Now normally I'd stop there, but I wanna show you a different way you can also draw the body, so you have two different ways to draw this unicorn. Okay, so what I've done is I've redrawn the head of the unicorn on a piece of paper that's faced horizontally. I moved him to the right just a little bit to make room for his body, which is gonna be over here. So after you draw the head, if you wanna draw your unicorn laying down, oh, I forgot to draw his tongue. There it is. Okay, so to draw your unicorn laying down instead of sitting up, we're going to finish the head, and then from this point right here on his nose, we're gonna draw a shape that's kind of like this. And out here, we're gonna draw the same exact shape and then just connect it to the bottom, just like that. Now this is the underside of his belly where he's laying down, so we want to decide how long he's gonna be. So I think he should be about this long. I'm gonna draw a dot right there. Just imagine a straight line that goes out this way. So we're gonna go ahead and connect that line, like so. And then back here, we're gonna draw this shape, but we're gonna reverse it. So it's gonna come up, just like that. So the last line we need to draw to finish the body is to draw his butt. I like to pick a point on the hair, which will be right about here. Draw a dot right there. So if you can see those two dots, we're gonna draw a big sort of like C shape that connects those two shapes. I'm gonna start here, come up, just like that. And then right out about here, we're gonna draw a dot, and we're gonna draw his tail. The bottom part of the tail is just a swoop that connects the foot to that dot that we just made. And then from right about here, we'll make a dot. We're gonna make one of those swoop shapes. We're gonna go up and then come down and then connect. And then just like we did before, right in the middle. And voila, look at that. You got a unicorn that's laying on his belly instead of sitting down. You can add little things to the drawing like stars. And to draw stars, it's pretty easy. You just make 4 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna connect these 4 dots with shapes just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you followed all of those steps, you should now be the proud owner of the cutest unicorn in all the land. Either sitting up or laying down. Either one is fine, or if you did both, bravo. All right, Rosko, how we looking? Are we about done? Well, Rosko's still working on his drawing. I wanted to show it to you guys, but it looks like he's still working on it. I'm not sure what's taking him so long. You guys all finished, right? Should I push the button? No, not yet. In fact, while we wait for Rosko to finish, I think it's time for an artist highlight. Not only do I like making art, I also really enjoy enjoying art. Art can come in many different forms, and I love that there are so many different kinds of artists to inspire us to make our own things. One of my favorite artists is Maurice Sendak. He was best known for the books that he wrote and illustrated. Books like In the Night Kitchen, Chicken Soup with Rice, and my favorite book of his, Where the Wild Things Are. I love the amount of detail Maurice Sendak adds to each of his drawings. It makes it really easy to spend a long time on each page simply because there's just so much to look at. So in honor of today's highlighted artist, I'm gonna do a quick drawing of Maurice Sendak's character, Max, from Where the Wild Things Are. For this drawing, I'm starting out with some loose pencil, then going back over those lines with a pen. This technique of using light pencil lines first before using ink is very common in a lot of drawings. If you've never tried it, you should give it a shot. All you need is a pencil, a good eraser, and a pen. Just remember to keep your pencil lines very, very light. And just like that, Max is done. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I encourage you to find artists that you like and create your own art inspired by them. Well, it seems like Rosko's still working on his drawing, so while we wait for him to finish yet again, we have time for a color party. And markers down, or paintbrushes down, or colored pencils down, or crayons down. Whatever it was you were using to color your drawing, put them down. Unless, of course, you're not finished, in which case, just pause the video and come right back. Because we are going to do an art reveal at the same exact time. Ready? On the count of 3, you show me your drawing, and I'll show you my drawing. 1, 2, 3. And there they are. I did them both. I did the one where the unicorn was sitting up and the one where he was laying down because I couldn't pick which one I wanted to do. I liked them both so much, I did them both. Which ones did you do? I'm sure whichever one you did, it turned out amazing. In fact, you know what? That deserves a round of applause. And a pat on the back. Good job, everybody. Now for the last time today, Rosko, did you finish your drawing? Well, you did finish. You didn't follow the directions. It's a little strange looking. You know what? I like it. If you like it and it makes you happy, it makes me happy. What do you guys think? Thank you guys so much for hanging out and drawing with me today. I think that's pretty much everything we gotta do, unless, of course, you want me to push this button. Should I? No. Maybe we'll save it for next episode. I don't think we should.
What? Oh. So that's what that button does. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. It's labeled puppet, and now you get it. This is gonna be an issue because I've got to drive later, and I don't think I have legs. If anyone sees a button labeled human lying around, could you maybe mail it to me? Speaking of mailing, if you did the drawing today and you want me to highlight them, send them to me. I would love to see them and showcase them to everybody who watches the videos. There's information in the description on how to get the drawings to me, so please send them right away. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye. Why are you still here? Bye.